Hello everybody, this is the Peglegjai. I just had the thought and I thought I'll upload this video. You know, we go on YouTube and we think about the flat earth and the globe and all those people deceiving us. Is knowing or seeing or understanding the earth is flat and maybe the Jews are really black? Have we been deceived that when you look at the bigger picture, we're still being deceived? And they just put a lie on top of a lie for us to say, oh yeah, the earth is flat. Is God real? Are people real? Is this the matrix that we live in? Or is it fake or real? We have to question things, don't we? I was just thinking maybe all the things on YouTube have been made up by other people. Not all the people, obviously, because there's a lot of real people on YouTube. But there's a lot of deceivers as well that, you know, can convince you into believing things. Things like, is the earth flat? Is it a globe? Is it pear-shaped or concave? You know, are Israelites really black? Are they really, olive-skinned, as some people will call it? I don't understand the olive skin thing myself personally. But as I said, I was just here, sitting there, thinking, and I don't know. For me, it's flat, and I believe that because the way I look at things. But I'm sure there's a bigger picture or an agenda, a bigger agenda than they let on. I do believe they're hiding something even bigger. You got to remember, the devil is the master of deception. So I say this. Is it time to step away from YouTube for, a little while and go to yourself? Let me do a bit more research. Let me go to the library. Let me talk to some older people. Let me look on, the internet, all your sources. Let me go into a church and talk to another pastor or a priest or a Muslim elder, Whoever you get to talk to them, because they all have different stories and understandings. It's always good to get their opinion, regardless whether you believe in what they believe. But what they understand and know may be different to what the world knows. I could be talking dribble. It doesn't matter, because it's all thinking. It's all using your mind and understanding on how you see things. I look around and I say to myself, there's got to be a lot more to the way this world is. Yeah, as I said, I believe it's flat. I don't believe it's a globe or concave or pear-shaped. I don't believe that we're spinning. I am a born-again Christian, but not in the conventional sense. The worldly sense. I know Jesus is real, and a lot of you are going to say to me, no, he's not. But he is. He's real. God's real. I know this through experience. A lot of things I've prayed for, God has given to me. A lot of you say, oh, that's just chance. Well, no, it's not just chance. Because the amount of times God's given me something when I've asked for it, it doesn't come down to chance. Yeah, I'm a 40-year-old man. I've been on this world for 40 years. Well, flat plane for 40 years. I've seen a lot of things, done a lot of things, heard a lot of things, understood a lot of things. You know, I've learnt as I've gone along in my life. Not just as a man, as a father, as a husband, you know, as a brother, as a son, as a grandson, as a cousin, as a nephew. Do you know what I mean? So the way I see it, I'm not blind to the way the world is. I know there's symbolism on TV, in music, films, TV series, even just walking outside, you know, along the road, I see things. You know, it's crazy. And I feel sorry for the younger generation, really. I mean, I feel sorry for my generation and some of the ones that are slightly older than me. In fact, I've got to say this. I feel sorry for those that fought in the war, first and second, because they were deceived, and not a lot of people understand that. They put things on Facebook and YouTube saying respect to those soldiers that gave their lives for our freedoms back in the day. And back in the day, the same thing was going on as it is now. But for now, it's even worse. Back then, it wasn't as bad. I can't say I feel sorry for these people that fell in the war. I think they was deluded. You know, I think they just went along with it because they couldn't see the truth. I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. Because I will never fight in no war for no government or no queen or king. Well, unless God said to me, Craig, I want you to. And then that's different. Also, maybe I'll fight a war for a family member or friend. Or my child. Or my children. My wife. That kind of war? Yeah, I'd fight. But I'll tell you something, people. I wouldn't fight for the government. They can put me in prison. They can torture me. But I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight for them. So when this third world war comes around, and it will, because you lot say the Bible's fake here, but everything that has been written in the Bible so far, man, that's got to be some big coincidence if the Bible is fake, that all this stuff is happening. Because it is. The Bible foretold all these things before they happened, people. So then, how can you say to me, oh, the Bible's fake? Some of you say, oh, well, the Illuminati wrote this stuff in the Bible just to tell us and mock us. Yeah, it could be. It's possible. Something to think about, isn't it? But I don't think so. Because don't forget, you got good and evil. You got God and the devil. So in my hindsight, I see everything that is written in the Bible was to show us that we need to get away from this world and come to God and move forward that way. To be free, to have our eternal life with God. Whether it's a new heaven on earth, or we end up in heaven and just stay there, or God destroys the earth and builds a new one, whatever. The fact of the matter is this. God has been showing us from day one that shit is messed up. And the devil has got his plan and he's doing it. And we're living in Revelations. You can't change my mind on what I know and understand, because I've learnt my way. Through life you got to be like a detective. You got to piece things together. You've got to learn. You've got to understand. And then you could put it all into practice at the end and say, well, actually, this is the way it is. And then when someone else comes along and says, oh, no, it's this way. And when you say no, have you got the experience of going through this, and that, and the other? And they will say no. And they say, well, how do you know it's like that then? Well, if you've got experience and you've sat down and you've studied certain things, then you come to the realization that actually I know what I'm talking about. And those other people that talk to me assume to know what they're talking about, don't actually know what they're talking about. I've met a lot of people like that who think they know everything. And they tell me, oh, this is the way it is. And I'll be like, yeah, alright then, fella. Do you know what I mean? I'm never horrible to them. I listen to them and I hear them. And I say, okay, cool. And I move on. I'm not going to say to them, oh, you're an idiot, you know, a fool. Because they're not. Because they're still learning. And they will get to my point one day. Or your point one day. Because you're older. But for the younger ones, don't assume you know something. Because you don't. Because you're still learning. I'm still learning, so I don't know everything. But I'm at a conclusion where I am right now that the things that I really want to know about, I sort of do know about. I might come across something that might change all that. So I don't necessarily say and subscribe to the fact that I know what I know. Because I don't. I mean, even the wisest man on this earth, the oldest man, who's been here for the longest, he might be 100 and something years old. At a stretch, 130. Do you know what I mean? But he don't know everything. It's only those that apply themselves to all the old ways of, you know, going back through history. From their ancestors to their ancestors to their ancestors. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, man. No one knows nothing. And if you say to me, you know this, I'll say to you, no, you don't. Because you don't. You don't know nothing. You're just like me. Still learning. And that's a fact. Anyway, people, you know, I've kept you too long. I want you to enjoy your weekend. You know, enjoy your week too. You know, thank you to all my subscribers. You know, 126 subscribers. I'm a blessed man. I really am. You know, I've done like 4 hangouts, you know, and I've enjoyed them thoroughly. I let them all speak their minds and say what they have to say. And I love it. You know, and I want to tell you that if you ever need a conversation with me because you're feeling down and low or whatever, you've got an issue, feel free to, you know, Skype me or email me. You know, I put my email out there all the time. So yeah, thank you, subscribers, all 126 of you, and even those that watch but don't subscribe, thank you. And thank you to my haters. God bless you all, man. Have a good time. Keep the research alive. Keep it flat. This has been Pegleg. God bless you all.